Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on PDF specs and links and how they can fit into your bills of material. My name is Steve Hess. I am the Director of User Experience at OpenBOM, and I'd like to welcome everyone here today. Today's topic was suggested by an attendee of last week's webinar, so I'd like to suggest that everyone send in your topics. support@openbom.com. Like always, this webinar is being recorded and will be available as well as the slide deck later on, and we'll be sending that out. So, okay. So just to get started, this webinar is intended to be 30 minutes or less, and today I'm going to try to make it less. I've heard from a few people that 15 minutes would be good. We'll see what we can do. This webinar is meant to send you off thinking about how to integrate specs and links and things like that into a bill of material that you can provide to your organization or suppliers in a meaningful way. And we're just going to discuss some ways to do that and give you something to think about. This is not a deep dive into BOMs or specs or anything else, and this is intended to be a marketing-free event. So, okay, like every webinar, we start off with a little bit of definitions. I'm going to share these out. I'm not going to go through these, but these are the kind of topics that we'll be discussing today. And I'd like to make part of this webinar an effort to standardize on terminology and words and definitions. So we'll continue to do this in the upcoming webinars. Okay, now specifically, of course, what we're going to be talking about today are things that fall into the category of specification or specifications. We kind of linked PDFs and all of these things together into that category. But let's go down, just a list of a few of the things that we might consider to be specifications that might have a home in your bill of material. And I just built this basically from my own experience as an engineer. I've found that, of course, the typical things are various performance specs, how to apply some paint, or, the torque, a list of torque values for fasteners and things. And of course, drawings from CAD, if those things exist, how to put our product together or how to ship it to the customer. That's always important, especially if you're shipping overseas, and what the packaging might need to look like. Of course, there's a specific specification from the supplier. That's always useful. Inspection and certification reports and all kinds of other things that can go along with that. And keep in mind that these might be documents, standalone documents on your computer. They may also be links to things, especially like supplier specifications and things. So with that, I've kind of put together a short list of things that we'll be discussing in a little more detail together. And in a few minutes, I'm going to start a live demo where we're gonna go through and just kind of link some of this stuff together into a bill of material. So I want to get to that quickly. So here are some things. A PDF of my drawing. Where is that located? And this is the type of thing that you would want to do at your own organization. What are on the left are the items that are important to my product that are not, classic parts of the BOM, like nuts and bolts and things. And on the right is where they may be hosted or where I might find them within my organization. So, as we can see, we've got links, manufacturing guys. I love to include pictures in my bills of material of what the product looks like, maybe at certain stages of assembly. I might even have an email from the client with acceptance or maybe some other details. So these are the kind of things that we want to think about. And the question in front of us is how do we get these into a single place? It's worth noting right now that the whole point of this exercise is to create a bill of material that with a single button push, I share it out with my organization or my extended organization, and they get access to all the bits and pieces. And so that's what we intend to do. So part of this, or a big part of this process, will be cloud storage. Some of you may have a lot of content on the cloud already, and others may have it sitting on your laptop. So we're going to demonstrate some methods, and many of them are based on having access to my preferred cloud storage. So here's some of the questions you might ask. There's a lot of cloud storage available out there, and I'm not going to dive into qualifying it. These are the type of questions you might want to ask yourself. Do you have CAD content which you may want to have viewed on the cloud? In other words, you want to put some CAD content in the cloud and have people able to view it and see it. If that interests you, take a look at Autodesk A360. There's a free version of that where you can put CAD content of almost any type. You can put SolidWorks files up there, and your customer or your colleagues will be able to follow the link and view them. Other things, of course, documents, all the classic ones apply. Do you intend to capture any data from your mobile device? Maybe you use, I like HP Scan on my mobile device. It works very well compared to my big printer scanner. So yeah, I bring in some content from my mobile. And are you going to be creating links in your BOMs to this storage? Will your intended reader be able to access them? Are they international, or perhaps are they in China? Are there some limitations? So these are kind of some of the things to think about. And I just threw in here that Google's cost at $2 for 100 gigs, $2 a month for 100 gigs I think is a good buy. There's a lot of other options as well. So these are something to think about when you're choosing a cloud storage. You may already have one that your company likes. And so we're not going to do anything that's specific to any particular cloud storage, but I'll show you some of the details as we move along. So in the next slide here, this is a bill of material, and I've this is going to be we're going to use a simple butterfly valve as our example, but what I want to point out here is that there's a lot of different ways that we can incorporate content into our bill of material. And here's some examples. We're going to go through grabbing PDFs off of our desktop. We're going to, maybe some content in Google Slides. Of course, the typical customer online spec is a classic one. And then maybe we've got some CAD drawings, or perhaps even PDFs of CAD models, or actually CAD models themselves. So, and then finally some pictures and some other images that go along to help describe it in our bill of material. These are the type of things that are very valuable to someone who's consuming your bill of material, and that should be centralized into a single place. So let's get started. Oh, here we go. Let's get started. We're going to work through a live demo of a butterfly valve, and I'm going to grab a copy of this. So let me get out of presentation mode, and let's jump over to SolidWorks. Okay. We'll work on my screen there. Okay, here we go. So we're sitting inside SolidWorks. I have a very simple butterfly valve. It has a little subassembly with it, and this is a great representation of this is going to demonstrate nicely the things that we want to show. So the first thing is I'm going to use OpenBOM, and OpenBOM has an integration into SolidWorks, as do many other. As do some other tools, Excel and some other BOM tools. So I want to demonstrate here that in the OpenBOM configuration, I have the ability to set some templates and do some other things which we're not going to visit right now. But the important thing here is I have the ability to choose a cloud storage, a preferred cloud storage device. Right? And in my case, I've chosen Google Drive, and I'm just going to go ahead and connect that to my OpenBOM to my Google Cloud storage. So we go through and we see that the Google authorization screen is displayed, and I sign into that. So that's all that's needed to do there. What I've done is I've said, hey, look, I want to send CAD files, drawing files, and PDF files to my cloud storage, and I want to link them into my bill of material. So let's see how that works. Okay, so I close the settings, and we're going to go up to the dashboard and go ahead and create a bill of material. Okay. So OpenBOM goes through product structure and captures information, generates the images, the various PDFs and things. If there's drawings associated with this design, there will be drawings captured and moved up to the storage area. We're also capturing product structure and other metadata, of course, about the design as well. So once that finishes here in just a moment, I'll go ahead and open this in OpenBOM. And I'm going to give OpenBOM is running on connecting to some of the cloud services here. So we're going to take just a second and let those various file transfers take place. And you'll be able to see that we've created a couple of columns in our bill of material for links to the various PDFs and CAD files that are created. So first of all, I think what's important here is that we've quite easily created a bill of material that captures three important data types without doing any additional work here. And I'm gonna let that third column catch up real quick. But what I'm looking at here is a bill of material, multi-level, that has links to my drawings, as well as links to PDFs of the solid models, as well as links to the solid models themselves. So any item that has a drawing in SolidWorks is going to get a link in the bill of material, and any consumer of that bill of material will easily be able to click that link and view the drawing. The same will be true for the other links in there, and they are going to be links to a 2D PDF of the 3D model, and then as well as the 3D model itself. So while that won't be viewable in Google, if I'm sending the information, let's say to my CNC guy or to my guy running a press brake or something, he may want that solid model to do his programming. So, okay, so there we've met. We've captured a couple of important links already. It's important to note that these will also update as my SolidWorks file updates, and I update the BOM. So. All right, let's look at a couple of other links that we may want to have for this. I'm going to, in my example here, I'm going to add some grease to my bill of material, and let's add an image for that grease. So here I'm linking actually to some content on my desktop. This makes this a lot more readable. I'm going to add another column as well here. It's going to keep track of a spec link to this item. So I'm adding a property to OpenBOM. Okay, I'm adding a property to OpenBOM. So that is a link to that supplier's website. So what have we done here quickly? We've added grease, I've added a image for it, and then I've added a link in here that takes my supplier right to the website for that particular product. So let's think about this from somebody in my organization. They are going to consume this bill of material. They're going to have a image of what it looks like, and they're going to have the link right to the vendor's site so they can order that material. So that's really helpful. Let's think about the guys maybe down in our manufacturing area. They may have some assembly instructions. Okay, I like to add a line for my assembly instructions. I'm going to edit the link for that particular spec, and I'm going to grab that off of my desktop. So I'm going to open my desktop browser. And there we go. Okay. And I have some assembly instructions that I've saved as a PDF file. And I'm just going to drag those into my bill of material. OpenBOM is going to generate both the link and the title to put into the BOM. And then we're going to take that document off my desktop and move it up into my cloud storage. Okay, so here I am. Sorry it took so long. I finally located that PDF and drug it up there into OpenBOM. So terrific. So now I have a link to some assembly instructions, which my manufacturing guys click on, and it takes them right to the butterfly valve assembly instructions. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at one final thing I'd like to show you is a set of inspection steps. I keep a document in Google Drive for my inspection certification. In my case, I'm using Google Drive, but let's edit that reference, and I'm going to go. Whereas before I went and grabbed the document off my desktop. What I'm going to do right now is grab a document that exists currently already in my Google Drive. And of course I have butterfly inspection right there, okay? And so what I've done in this case is I've just grabbed that link and I put it in my BOM. That document already lived in my cloud storage. So my inspection guys click on the inspection link and they can follow the inspection steps and inspect each one of the critical dimensions. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So let's roll back here a little bit and take a couple of more, take a look at a few things that we've done up to this point. We used our CAD integration to generate PDFs and 2D images of our solid models and put them up in the cloud and link that to my bill of material. So that's pretty cool. Secondly, we added some non-modeled items here like grease. We used the thumbnail image. We edited our thumbnail image and just pulled in an image off our desktop. And then we also provided a link to using the edit reference command to the supplier specification online. And then we added a couple of more instructions here, specifications for assembly, and then of course final certification. So here's something else that I like to do for my assembly instructions. I like to add a picture. of what those things are going to look like. So here I just took I took my cell phone out onto the shop floor. I snapped a picture here, and I'm going to add that into my bill of material. Now I used a cloud storage like Google in my case that I can just sync my phone right with Google Cloud with Google Drive. So anything that I scan with my phone or any pictures that I take are just available right away in my Google Drive. So consequently, I can link them easily into my bill of material. So okay, I'd like to one very important topic, of course, with all this information centralized in here, we can use the share button and we can share this out to any consumers that need to have that. Something to note, however, is that when you share this bill of material, you'll also need to ensure that you've given them access to whatever cloud storage you have these other things shared on. So in my case, it's Google Drive. I've shared the bill of material with my colleague as well as ensured that they have access to the cloud storage. So, okay, so let me take a couple of questions and then we can wrap it up. So, okay, this is just a quick question. I should have covered this. What happens when my CAD model changes? How do I get the new files into cloud? Well, that's very simple. OpenBOM, using OpenBOM, there is a create update button. So if, for example, if I modify this base and make some change to this base design here and save it back in here, I just click on create update BOM, and as long as I have my settings properly set in the to enable cloud, then all the information that was generated and stored up on the cloud will be updated. So, and the links will be updated in the BOM too. The nice thing about this integration is that when you generate the cloud content and the links are generated at the same time, so that you are, they're in sync. Okay, do we support e-drawings? Okay, that is a good question. Yeah, absolutely. SolidWorks e-drawings, you can use the publish e-drawing command and then just simply add a line item to the bill of material. I'm just going to kind of jump ahead here. We can add an e-drawing line item here, and then just like we just did prior, and I'm getting that message because I haven't linked a catalog here. We just edit that reference and go ahead and upload that e-drawing to our cloud storage, and that'll be linked right in, so that anyone that is consuming this will get that e-drawing. So that's actually quite a nice suggestion, and I think I'll work that into. I'll create a little video for that as well. So, okay, everyone. Let's see. I want to thank you all. I'd like to return quickly for a few closing thoughts. Organization and thoughtfulness is the key to this. It will certainly help you streamline the process. Spend a little time up front thinking about those things. What is the content that you're after, and where is it hosted in your current systems, and make the choices around choosing a cloud system that meets your needs. I do like to use the CAD template to make sure you include any cloud settings. And then finally, is one recommendation, is always good idea, is to get all the information off of your PC. Moving it up to the cloud and OpenBOM is a good way to do that. Pick that data up and move it up there, or you can move it manually to your cloud storage and link it in. So, okay, here are a couple of references. Maybe I'll add a few more before I share this deck. A couple of YouTube videos on syncing data to the cloud and connecting bills of material to Google Drive. So, okay, finally, if there are any additional questions, please send them to support@openbom.com, and I will be sure to reply. So thank you all for joining, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.